Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of What the Farq presents with me, Lord Farquaad. Great to have you back as always, my lovely little Farkettes. So, following my previous video about the TC takeover event and some of the issues that had occurred with it, just the game mechanics and the lag, and just how the community were just not enjoying it. A number of members of Star Trek Fleet Command community reached out to me either via Discord, via personal, via email, via Twitter, via Facebook, via YouTube, to just give me some of those comments of what they feel could be better, some ideas that we could bring into the game that might not work around the game mechanics now, but it's great to get some real player feedback. Hopefully, this gets back to either Rev, Fortis, No One Shall, DJ, or even Scoopy themselves to show you exactly what the real players really think of this game and some of the ideas. So let's jump in. We'll have a couple of looks, and thank you everybody who contacted me. Received about 100 different messages over the last week, and it's great to hear all of your feedback. So let's have a quick look at number one here. So this was from YouTube, and you could tell from it that Patrick was excited about it and the kind of the way it is, but it just was such a letdown because of the mechanic limitations with regards to the systems, who can come in, who can go out, how to get in, the number of ships in there, the priority of those ships. And I like his idea of all Alliance ships who have joined the contest get priority over any other ship, which should be that. Why should the people who haven't paid their entrance fee to get in, they're just bunking in off their mates, get to go and fight? I do like that. And again, he mentions that the event is slanted towards the larger alliances, the powerhouses, those that already had their territories already. Very, very interesting. Let's look at comment number 2. So again, on my server, the big alliances have turned this into a massive game of catch and release. They're taking territories for points and then dropping them to take the next one. Instead of shaking things up, mostly what's happened is the smaller alliances are finding themselves homeless, and there are a growing number of unclaimed territories. So again, what it's doing is they're just catching a territory and dumping it because they're big. They can do that. And you've got the smaller alliances who have worked really hard to get up on the board, who can't defend themselves, are just getting absolutely eaten to shreds. They have no incentive to. There is an incentive in points, but there's no incentive to really kind of say to fight and fight and fight. So have a look at comment number 3. So this was from a member of the 146 community and has been on many of the other discords. So we'll go down to section number 4. Fix the farking lag. For starters, the lag has been terrible. And what this has been doing is it's not just been affecting territory capture, it's been affecting other parts of the game as well. So even if you're not involved in the territory capture, it will, for that period of time, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, affect your gameplay to the point where sometimes it just slowly grinds down to a halt and you can't play. And that's not great for player community. It's not great for just kind of morale and everything from there. So I like the idea of decreasing the amount of max zones from 5 to 4 or even 3, so that moving for new particles might be needed. So you can't just get everything all in one go. As an alliance, you can only help defend other alliances 2 times a day. You need to opt in, and it needs to happen 30 minutes before. Nobody can see who opted in. There's a nice little, something interesting there. Dropping a zone will mean you won't be able to retake it again with an attack. You are locked out. I like that, and that is what would have made this event. What ruined the event was the alliances dropped the zone, and then took it back, getting max points for attacking when actually technically they were defending. So they should have got the lower points. So putting some sort of mechanic in of if you drop a territory, you could not pick it up for 1 hour, 24 hours, whatever, from there. So thank you very much, Slammer, for that. Let's have a look. So Master Boat. There should be scoring in this event for offensive and defensive of equal value, but only if a TC is contested. The winner, defender or offender, gets points, the loser nothing. Battling with at least 2 for a non-occupied zone should be grants points as right now for defense, assuming the above said scoring as a win right now. No drop retakes, no points doing just nothing, but big rewards being really TC active as it presumably intended to be, and maybe just the payouts to better cover the cost of being active. So you've got some who are just not very active. They just sit in their zones and they're getting big rewards out of this. They're not even trying. And you've got some who are trying to take, trying. They might not be succeeding, but they are spending huge amounts of tricks, huge amounts of speed ups and repairs to try and get these territories, and they're not getting rewarded at all. But the guys who are just sitting there doing not much, just kind of a couple of big ships in, just smashing these little ships, just yeah, it's not great. Let's have a number 5. So this is MacMad, who's in the Chaos Alliance on 146. Something a little bit different. Porting in an enemy zone. You can't port out for an hour. You can't shield. Max time 2 hours in the system, and then you randomly port out. The cost is 4 port tokens. Scope you win because res becomes more valuable again. People will need to shield, and porting token have a lot more worth. Player wins because high raiding can happen, but it's at their risk. TC should services should shuffle every 3 months. That way, moving around and PvP stay a stable concept in the game. Admiral should be able to kick out non-alliance bases from TC zones they own, not the ones that ported in. They have a special cooldown, and then every 6 months. This is the one that really for me. Every 6 months, all TCs reset. Quite like that. So Intolerable Pug, he's a bit of a character. Exocomp that allows your base in an enemy TC for 1 hour, reducing the TC battle time from 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. It's plenty. You don't need to fight for an hour. If you're going to fight, you're going to fight. If you haven't won a 3-star after half an hour, you're going to pull out anyway, so that's fine. Every day, 1 random system drops with decent res prizes if someone else takes it. So that's pretty cool. I think a random system you find out an hour beforehand, or event reset, or I don't know, the one at 6 a.m. in the morning, 5 a.m. in the morning, that this system today is being dropped. Use it or lose it. That's pretty cool as well. And then maybe it's an option to auto kick bases out of territory when the alliance drops it voluntary. So pretty much, yeah, like, you know, in a situation like this, if you build in the game mechanic of it, if you lose a territory, your base automatically spits out to some random level 1 system. What that would do is, if someone events like this, what it would do is it would stop the drop and attack, because all those bases that are there would disappear, meaning it'd be a lot harder for them to hold that territory if they're under attack. So there's lots of different ideas, and a lot of it is to do with just shaking things up a bit, making it more exciting. So rather than any more comments, I'm kind of going to give you some of my final thoughts and what I feel myself personally I would like an event like this to happen. So for me, I love this event. I think it's great. We are so tired. The amount of attacking, defending that has taken place. The problem is the lag has been so bad. I've had examples where I was in battle for at least 10 minutes. I've been kicked out multiple times. We had people who were said they were in the system but they couldn't view it. We had some people who were stuck in system view when their ships were killed and they couldn't do anything. We had people who couldn't repair because of the lag. It was just a big, massive failure with regards to the infrastructure behind this game and the load that goes on at a certain time. So that really needs to be sorted. I think with territories, a quarterly board reset would be great, because we have, so Tuesday is a non-day for territories, so we can do that, and we have 90-day arcs, give or take. You normally get a 2-week break. Do a 2-week break. You do an event like this, and then what it does is it wipes the board, and then you've got to go at it again. You will have notice. You'll know that it's coming up. So you've got to make sure you've got your resources in place to go and retake those territories back. And you could have an event like this and it would be active. There would be so much PvP. There'd be so much arguing and crying and happiness and everything in between. I do like some of the other ideas with regards to allowing only those participating in first. If we're dealing with game mechanics here and the number of ships in a system, i.e. the alliances who are participating first, they get priority over those coming in that are non-participants within the TC. So your territory capture coalition members or those in your stable. I think that's a great shout on that one. And let's say exocomps that will provide you to pull in no shield into the middle of a territory. I think that's great. Could you just imagine distance raiding is pain enough as it is, but you jump in and you get a certain amount of time, you can go and smash those bases. These exocomps are expensive, but if you can use them and you get away with it, it's great, because people in TC do not shield enough. But if that person comes online, you've just wasted an exocomp. So it's all about the kind of excitement of, oh, am I going to get this? Am I going to get them? Oh, I lost it. Oh yeah, brilliant. We've smashed 10 billion par and 5 billion trit in a very short period of time. There's so many ways that this game can be improved. We are very, very passionate about this. And I feel that Scopely, yes, they have the advisory board with regards to players, but I think they really need to go further than that. They need to go further into the community and really get the real players, the guys who aren't maybe the planners, the guys who just play for the fun of it, and asking them the questions, the proper questions, and getting them to advise. I think that would be more worthwhile sometimes than being pushed by a content creator or an advisory board. I think that would be. Everyone, as always, thank you very much for joining me. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, comment, and all that hoo-ha. Be great to get your ideas on how territory capture could be improved and an event like this and how it can be improved. Keep well, keep safe, and I will see you again on another What the Farq.